What is good? It is your boy, Mr. Frenzy from MrFrenzyProductions.com, and we are rocking hats today. And we are also going to do 808's. So let's get started. 808's, obviously, is one of the major components of trap music, and we need to make sure that we tune our 808 and we have a good rhythm with our 808. Okay? So let's get into it. So, first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up an 808. I'm going to listen to the song. Okay, so what I want is I want an 808 that's relatively short, but has a little bit of a tail to it, so it kind of grooves with this beat, you know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 808, and immediately what I have to do is I have to tune it with the sample that I'm using, okay? Because 808s, they're drums, however, they're used in a melodic sense, meaning that you have to change the pitch of them so that they're in key with the harmonic and melodic section, okay? So what we're gonna do, easiest way to do this without getting too fancy by pulling out Edison and all that sort of stuff, is we're gonna take the 808 and we're actually going to pitch it up 2 octaves. So we're not going to put it on C5 nor C6, we're going to put it on C7. Now, the reason why we're going to put it on C7 is because 808s have a tendency to pitch bend, because they start on a pitch and then they bend really quickly, and then they start to kind of get out of tune really weird at the tail end of it, okay? So what we want to do is we want to make this 808 a short sound so we know what the actual fundamental main pitch is, okay? This is all done by ear. When I do the module on 808s, I'm going to show you all the nifty, neat tricks and all that sort of stuff, how to be able to get that perfect tune of your 808. But right now, we're just going to get a relative tune. Okay, so I have this C1. Basically, I'm starting on C1 just to kind of hear where this 808 is tuned to in relativity to the actual loop. Okay, so make sure my loop is on. Okay, so now let's listen. Okay, so automatically, let's listen again. Okay, so this note is very close to the actual pitch of the sample or my my loop. Let's listen to just the loop. Cool. Listen to it with the 808. I'm gonna turn up the 808 too so you can really hear it. Okay, so that's pretty close, but it's not on. So what I have to do is I have to use my ear to kind of hear where the actual pitch of the where the 808 needs to be in pitch with the loop. So here we go. Okay, let's hear it with here. That's close. That's even closer. Now, on A6, you can hear it kind of sounds a little lower in pitch than the actual sample or the loop, okay? So what I'm going to do is I think it's here. I'm going to pitch it up even higher. There we go. So that's it. So this is a classic example of the reason why you want to pitch up your 808s in the high octave range, around the C7, C8, even C6, so you can really hear that clear main pitch. Because if I put it here, you can really hear that this A7 is out of tune. But if you put it up here on A sharp 7, right on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find all of the other chord change pitches as well, okay? I'm going to stay up here so I can hear what the actual tune of the 808 is, okay? Okay, so the chord changes over here on beat number 4 of the first measure, okay? See, it changes right there. So what I need to do is I need to find the next pitch for my 808. Okay, that wasn't right, so it's pitched down even more. Okay, so right now we're on A sharp and on F within the pitch of the 808, because sometimes the 808s aren't in tune to begin with, okay? I'll get into tuning 808s in the 808 module, okay? I just want you guys to basically just, start making music now, okay? Not have to worry about all of the fancy stuff that you can do to tune the 808s and all that sort of stuff, okay? If you got some 808s, just do this and you'll be fine. It might take a little bit of ear training to get that fine pitch, but if you do your 808s, if you find where your pitches are in the high octaves, then it'll be easier for you to distinguish how the actual 808 sounds. Okay, so next chord change is over here on the third measure. Okay, so that works. Now you might be asking, is like, how do I know this? Well, generally speaking, chord changes are very near from one another. It's rare that, chord starts here and then it goes all the way down here, you know what I mean? I mean, it can, but it's usually rare. So stay in the ballpark. Okay, now we have another pitch bend on the on the 4, on beat number 4 of the third measure. Try that. Okay, so that sounds a bit out of tune right there. So it's over here on D sharp 7. Okay. D sharp of the 7th position, or 7th piano roll sort of thingy, okay? Not D sharp 7 as in, never mind. All right. So this should be right. Let's actually have another listen. Okay. Okay, so always do this without the drums, because if you do it with the drums, then you're going to be, your ears are going to get confused with the pitch of the drums as well, because even drums have a certain pitch as well. All right, so I'm doing... Okay. Now I'm going to bring it down to its actual octave, so around the C5 area. It's a close one. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it here on D5 because it sounds a little bit better in this lower octave range, okay? All right. What am I going to do next? Oh, yeah, okay. So now we have to apply a form of a rhythm, okay? Because just having the 808 hit on every single chord change is kind of boring. So what I want to do is I want to liven up the rhythm a little bit by just adding, just some more notes that are in the key. So I'm going to add another one right here on the and of 2 of the first measure. Okay. Now, here's the biggest thing about 808s nowadays is that they add a lot more rhythm, and also they can't clash with the, you don't want to make them too busy in relative to what the bass drum is doing, okay? So in order to understand where to place your 808s correctly, you need to listen to the drums as well, okay? Okay? Okay, so I like that so far. I might actually put another 808 here. Okay, cool. That's cool. Okay, now I'm going to dress it up by putting another 808 on the and of 4 of the second measure. Here's the big thing. Listen to this. You see how it doesn't sound very good? It kind of like the 808 started to kind of like bleed into one another. What you want to do to eliminate that is right click on your 808 sample on your channel rack and then hit cut itself. So basically any time that a 808 hits, it'll cut off the actual sound of the previous one. Just like that, okay? That's it. That's extremely important. Okay, cool. That sounds pretty cool. I like that sort of what I did here on the 3 and 3rd and 4th beat. I put 1 Actually, let me show you what that looks like. I put one on the third beat of the fourth measure and one on the of 3. That kind of gives a little bit of da 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 da. Cool. So this is what we have for our 808. Oops. I got a little bit too excited and I accidentally slammed down on the keyboard and hit this C. If you have this on right here, that will allow you to play on your normal keyboard. Cool. I'm going to copy this over. Now this has a sort of a triplet feel to it, but we'll get into triplets and all that sort of stuff later. Okay, so that is it for 808s in the most basic form. Now there's other things I can do to tune the 808s so it sounds a little bit more, right on with the melody and all that sort of stuff, but I'm going to get into that when it comes to the 808 module, which will be about, I believe, 2 or 3 modules away from this one. I believe about module number 5. So, all right, well, that is it for 808s for this one. And in the next one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an entire beat from scratch and then, show you exactly the whole entire process by using the rhythm structure that we've been using in this module. Okie dokie. This is Mr. Frenzy from MrFrenzyProductions.com. And hit like and subscribe if you want more on making trap beats.